Have you ever noticed how many men over the age of 50 enter relationships not because they actually want a partner, but because they are afraid of being alone? This is a quiet fear that people rarely talk about, especially among men at this point in life. Before we continue, please hit the like button. It helps this message find other men who really need to hear it. Also, let me know in the comments if you think men over 50 should date for fun or look for something serious, and why. Now, let's get into today's topic. It is a powerful one. Here are 5 reasons to avoid having a girlfriend in your 50s and 60s, looked at through the lens of modern stoicism. Before you think this is about being bitter or choosing to be lonely, let me be clear. This is about strength. This is about having a clear mind. This is about emotional freedom. It is about spotting the traps older men often fall into without even knowing it. These are traps that slowly take away their energy, ruin their peace, and dull their masculine spirit. Let's start with a basic truth. The enemy here is not women. The real enemy is getting attached without thinking. It is the habit many men over 50 have, where they lower their standards just because they feel thankful for the attention. It is a hunger for approval after a divorce, a period of loneliness, or years of feeling ignored. It is the mistaken belief that a girlfriend will fix a hole in your life, that only discipline, goals, and self-respect can truly heal. Stoicism gives us a strong rule. Never link your happiness to something you cannot control. And if we are honest, a girlfriend is exactly that, something you cannot fully control. So, let's look at the reasons, starting with the first 3. These apply to many men in places like the US, UK, Canada, and Australia who reach their 50s and 60s and suddenly feel a push to settle down again. The first reason is this. Most women your age are not truly looking for love. They are looking for stability. This is not meant as an insult. It is just the way things are. Stoicism teaches us to look at reality, not run from it. When you are a man in your 50s or 60s, you finally have things that younger men do not. You have stability, life experience, a calm mind, a strong presence, and financial knowledge. Women in your age group notice this right away, but here is the hard truth. Many are not attracted to who you are deep down. They are attracted to what you can provide. Many men over 50 mistake this attention for real desire. Here is the Stoic lesson. Attraction based on being useful disappears the moment that usefulness is gone. Think of it like this. If you buy a boat, suddenly people want to hang out with you more. Are they there for you or for the boat? Older men often become the boat without realizing it. I have worked with many men who entered a relationship thinking she really cares about me, only to realize months later they are paying for everything, fixing every emotional problem, and changing their whole lives while getting very little back. This isn't always done to be mean, but it is human nature. It becomes dangerous when you walk into it without seeing it clearly. The second reason is that you will lose your freedom much faster than you think. Men in their 50s and 60s finally get to a point where life feels lighter. You have survived heartbreaks, job stress, raising kids, and health scares. You earned your peace. You earned your quiet mornings. You earned the right to say no without feeling bad. But the moment you start a serious relationship, things change. You trade your freedom for company, and often, that company is not worth the freedom you give up. You start changing your schedule, dropping your hobbies, and managing someone else's feelings just to keep things smooth. Stoicism tells us to protect our inner peace. Your peace is not up for sale. Your time is worth a lot. Your energy determines the quality of your life. Yet many older men give all of this away just months after getting a girlfriend. Imagine a man who retires and is ready to travel, work out, read, and start a new chapter. He meets a woman and suddenly his trips are cancelled. His gym routine stops, and his weekends are all about her plans. He starts carrying her stress and her family issues. His peace is not taken by an enemy, but by his own lack of rules. The third reason is that emotional duty slowly moves onto you. This is where many men miss the true cost of a relationship at this age. Women over 50 often carry emotional weight from the past, like old heartbreaks, divorces, or problems with grown children. You become the anchor. You become the person she leans on. You become the fixer and the listener. This does not make her a bad person, but it shows a truth. When you carry someone else's emotional weight, you have less room for your own growth. Older men forget how tiring this is. At 25, you have the energy for emotional drama. At 60, that energy is better used for your health and your peace. The relationship becomes a weight rather than a support. Stoicism teaches that a man must manage his own mind. Yet, many older men find themselves trying to fix someone else's problems instead. When you are always managing another person's feelings, you slowly disappear. Your needs and your goals stop being important. Self-control is traded for taking care of someone else's emotions. It happens quietly and without warning. The fourth reason is that relationships after 50 often turn you into a caregiver. This is a truth many men are afraid to say out loud. A girlfriend at this age can easily become another job rather than a real partner. It isn't always true, but it happens enough that you should be careful. Women over 50 face real struggles with health, money, or family. And who steps in to help? You do. Not because you plan to, but because you are stable and dependable. When you are that kind of man, you take it all on. Stoicism warns against carrying weights that are not yours. But in later life, these lines get blurry. You start changing your life to help her family or handle her emergencies. You wanted a partner, but suddenly you are responsible for another person's whole life. I have seen this many times. A man meets a woman who seems fun, but months later, he is the one dealing with her medical visits and her old traumas. You do it because you are a good man, but the hard truth is that you lose the person you spent decades becoming. You become responsible for a life that isn't yours, and once that starts, it is hard to stop. The fifth reason is that you risk losing the best phase of your life. This might be the most important point. Men between 50 and 70 enter a very special stage. You are wiser, calmer, and more confident. This is your time to start fresh. But the moment you tie yourself to a girlfriend who doesn't fit your lifestyle, that growth can stop. Relationships require giving things up, and that can be the enemy of personal progress. You worked your whole life to get here. Your mornings belong to you. Your money is stable. You know yourself better. Yet many men fall into the same old trap. They put her needs first and limit their own freedom just to avoid an argument. Slowly, your own growth takes a back seat. Stoicism teaches that a man's purpose must be the center of his life, not romance or approval. Many men get so excited by the attention that they forget their mission. They stop building and exploring. They mistake comfort for happiness. Later on, they wake up and realize their spirit feels trapped. This message is not telling you to give up on love forever. It is a reminder that at this age, your peace is worth more than anything. Your energy and time are limited. Choose carefully where you spend them. A relationship can be nice, but it can also put out the fire you spent years building. The cost is not just emotional, it is deep and personal. It is the cost of becoming a smaller version of yourself, just to keep someone else happy. You have to ask if that price is worth it. Let me be very clear. I am not saying you should avoid women or connection. I am saying you should never start a relationship because you are weak or lonely. Only enter one from a place of strength and self-respect. A stoic man chooses with care. He does not chase or beg for affection. He watches and decides with a clear mind. The true stoic way is not about hating relationships. It is about saying no to any relationship that costs you your peace or your freedom. If you choose to have a woman in your life, let it be because she truly adds value, not because she is filling an empty spot. You should fix that emptiness through your own goals and growth. You might ask what a man over 50 should do instead. The answer is simple, but requires focus. Always put your purpose first. Your work or your calling must be the most important thing. It is the core of who you are. Without it, everything else falls apart. Value your peace more than just having someone around. A quiet home is worth more than a loud, stressful relationship. If you date, do it lightly and be honest about it. Enjoy the company without giving up your freedom. Set strong rules for your feelings. You can be supportive, but do not take on someone else's whole burden. Protect your personal growth. This part of your life is powerful, and you earned it. Don't let anyone distract you from it. A man who stays strong after 50 is someone people naturally respect. He is attractive because he is centered in himself. Many men don't realize how fast they can lose their identity in a relationship. At this age, you are a wise version of yourself. But if you let your boundaries slip and live for someone else's moods, you drift away from the man you work to become. This doesn't happen all at once. It starts with small things, like skipping your workout or staying quiet just to avoid a fight. Over time, you build your life around her expectations instead of your own values. At this age, the danger is higher because you have less energy to waste. Older men pay a bigger price for stress. Modern Stoicism says a man must know what is his job and what is not. Many men want to be helpful, which is good, but without being careful, it becomes a trap. They stop growing and stop protecting their own space. Ironically, the more a man gives up who he is, the less attractive he becomes. Women are drawn to a man who is stable and has a direction. This is why many relationships for older men feel draining. They want connection, but forget that it cannot replace their purpose. The best thing a man can do at this stage is to stay centered. When he lives this way, the right woman fits in naturally, and the wrong one leaves because she cannot pull him off his path. A relationship itself doesn't ruin a man, but a relationship started out of fear or weakness does. A relationship started from strength is different. It is an addition to your life, not a burden. Most men over 50 have spent their lives putting others first: kids, family, and bosses. For many, this is the first time they are actually free. Yet, this is when they often run into a relationship because they fear being alone. But being alone now is a gift. It is a chance to build your life exactly how you want it, without pressure. Many men find new hobbies, travel, or get in great shape during these years because they aren't busy managing someone else's needs. When a man stays focused on his goals, he becomes picky. He doesn't give his time or energy away for free. This protects his growth. It ensures that if a woman joins him, his life is already full and happy. People are drawn to calm power, and that power only comes when a man refuses to lose himself. For a man over 50, the biggest danger is not being single. The danger is giving away the peace you spent a lifetime earning. Relationships are not the enemy, losing yourself is. Unless you enter a relationship with clear rules and a strong purpose, you will repeat the same draining patterns. Your time is more valuable now. Your peace is non-negotiable. This is how you find a new kind of strength that is steady and free. In the end, having a girlfriend isn't the problem. The problem is doing it without knowing the cost. A stoic man knows that freedom and peace are sacred. Guard them. If a woman makes those things better, welcome her. If she makes them worse, walk away. The man you are becoming is worth more than the comfort of any relationship. If this message helped you, comment "I choose peace" below. And please like the video so other men can find this and protect what matters. Beyond the points we have already covered, there is another layer to consider regarding the social pressure men face in their later years. Society often suggests that a man without a partner is somehow incomplete or lonely, but Stoicism teaches us that completeness comes from within. When you reach your 50s and 60s, you have a unique opportunity to redefine what success looks like on your own terms. For decades, you may have measured your worth by how well you provided for a family or how much you climbed the career ladder. Now, the metric of success is your own internal tranquility. Many men rush into a new relationship because they don't know who they are outside of being a husband or a provider. They fear the silence of an empty house, but that silence is actually where your greatest insights are found. If you cannot sit comfortably in a room by yourself, you are not ready to share a room with someone else. A man who fears his own company is easy to manipulate. He will put up with bad behavior, high drama, and constant demands just to avoid the quiet. But a stoic man embraces the quiet. He uses it to sharpen his mind and strengthen his body. He realizes that a partner should be a companion on his journey, not the destination itself. If you decide to bring a woman into your life at this stage, she must be someone who respects the man you have become, not someone who tries to reshape you into someone more convenient for her. You must be willing to walk away the moment your self-respect is at risk. This is not about being cold, it is about being honest. You have fewer years ahead of you than you have behind you, which makes every hour more valuable than it was at 20. Spending those hours arguing over small things or managing someone else's life is a poor investment of your remaining time. Focus on building a legacy of wisdom and strength. Engage with the world through your passions and your mentorship. When you live with such high purpose, you stop looking for a girlfriend to save you from boredom. You start looking for a life that is so rich and fulfilling that a relationship is simply a bonus, not a requirement. This is the ultimate form of freedom. It is the ability to say that you are happy alone, and therefore you are only interested in a connection that makes a great life even better. Anything less is a step backward. Keep your standards high and your boundaries firm. You have earned the right to live exactly how you choose. Another important point to consider is how much your physical health and mental focus depend on your environment. When you are in your 50s and 60s, your body does not bounce back as fast as it used to. Stress is no longer just a bad mood. It is a threat to your heart, your sleep, and your overall longevity. A high-maintenance relationship creates a constant state of low-level stress that can literally shorten your life. Stoicism reminds us that our primary duty is to keep our own instrument, our mind and body, in peak condition. Many men at this age find themselves skipping the gym or eating poorly because they are caught up in the social habits or the emotional crises of a partner. They trade their health for the comfort of not eating dinner alone. But you must ask yourself if that trade is fair. Your vitality is the foundation of your masculine power. Without your health, you cannot pursue your mission or enjoy your freedom. By staying independent, you keep full control over your diet, your sleep, and your movement. You can wake up at 5 a.m. to hike, meditate, or work on a project without having to explain yourself or compromise with someone else's mood. This leads to a level of physical and mental sharpness that most men your age have already given up on. Furthermore, you should think about your financial legacy and how a new relationship can complicate it. After decades of hard work, your resources should be used for your peace, your adventures, or the people you truly care about, like your children or grandchildren. In many cases, a new partner brings their own financial expectations or hidden debts into your life. Even if she is self-sufficient, the lifestyle shift often leads to higher spending and less control over your own wealth. A Stoic man views money as a tool for freedom, not a way to buy affection. When you are single, you have the power to live as simply or as grandly as you want. You don't have to justify a big purchase or a decision to live more minimally. This financial clarity allows you to be generous on your own terms rather than out of obligation. Finally, remember that your greatest impact on the world right now comes from your example. Younger men are watching how you handle this stage of life. If they see you chasing after validation or losing your cool over a relationship, they see a man who is still a slave to his emotions. But if they see a man who is calm, fit, focused, and content in his own company, you become a beacon of strength. You show them that aging is not a process of decline, but a process of refinement. You prove that a man's worth is not tied to who is on his arm, but to what is in his heart and mind. Stay true to the path of self-mastery. The world has enough men who are distracted. It needs more men who are centered. One more truth we must face is the trap of social performance. Many men in their 50s and 60s feel a hidden pressure to show the world they still have it. They want to show up to events or post photos that prove they are still desired and active. This is an ego trap. Stoicism tells us that the opinions of others are outside of our control and therefore worthless to our inner peace. When you seek a partner just to prove something to your friends, your family, or your ex-wife, you are making yourself a slave to their gaze. You are using another human being as a trophy or a prop, and in doing so, you lose your own path. True power is not needing anyone to see how well you are doing. True power is being content in the dark, knowing you are living by your own rules. At this age, you have likely realized that the applause of the crowd fades quickly, but the respect you have for yourself when you look in the mirror is what carries you through the night. You should also look closely at the concept of time. When you are 20, you feel like you have forever, so you waste months on people who don't fit. But when you are 60, you realize that your time is the most precious thing you own. Every afternoon spent in a pointless argument or every weekend spent at a social event you don't enjoy is time you will never get back. A Stoic man is a jealous guardian of his time. He understands that saying yes to a girlfriend often means saying no to his own hobbies, his own learning, and his own rest. If a woman does not make your time feel more valuable, she is actually taking from your life. This is why being highly selective is the only logical choice. You are not being mean. You are being a good manager of the years you have left. Finally, consider the idea of the lone wolf versus the leader. Some people think a man alone is a man who is lost, but history shows us that the most impactful men were those who could stand on their own. By choosing your peace over a casual or draining relationship, you are not retreating from the world. You are actually preparing yourself to engage with it more deeply. You have more to offer your community, your friends, and your causes when you aren't exhausted by the drama of a partner. You become a man of substance rather than a man of distraction. You are no longer chasing the temporary high of a new spark. You are building a permanent foundation of character. This is the stage where you turn your life into a masterpiece. Do not let a mediocre relationship be the thing that keeps you from finishing your work. Keep your head held high, stay focused on your mission, and let your self-reliance be your greatest strength. One often overlooked factor in this stage of life is the power of your own space. After decades of sharing a home, negotiating living habits, or dealing with the noise of a growing family, your environment is finally yours to control. Stoicism teaches us that our surroundings influence our thoughts. When you have a girlfriend, her energy, her belongings, and her habits slowly merge into your sanctuary. Many men don't realize how much they value their own organized, quiet space until it is disrupted. Your home should be a place of recovery and deep focus, not a place where you have to compromise on how you live. Whether it is the food in the fridge, the time you go to bed, or the silence you enjoy in the afternoon, these small things are the pillars of your daily peace. Giving them up for the sake of a relationship can lead to a slow build-up of hidden frustration. You have worked hard to create a life that fits you, and inviting someone else in requires a massive adjustment that many men find they no longer have the patience for. There is also the reality of your social circle and how it changes. Often, when a man gets a girlfriend at this age, his relationships with his male friends begin to fade. He spends his weekends doing couple activities instead of maintaining the brotherhood that keeps him grounded. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of friendship and community based on shared values. Your friends provide a perspective that a romantic partner cannot. They hold you accountable and remind you of who you are. When you prioritize a girlfriend, you often isolate yourself from the very men who understand your journey best. Maintaining your independence allows you to keep these vital connections strong. You can show up for your friends, be a mentor to younger men, and stay involved in your community without having to check in with someone else first. This social freedom is a key part of your masculine strength, a natural drive to protect and provide, which is a good trait. But at this stage of life, that instinct can be used against you. You might meet a woman who seems to be in a constant state of crisis, whether it is with her health, her children, or her finances. Your first thought is to jump in and fix everything because it makes you feel useful and strong. However, Stoicism warns us to be careful about where we put our efforts. If you spend all your time solving someone else's problems, you are essentially living their life instead of your own. You become a tool for their comfort rather than a man with his own direction. This kind of relationship is built on being needed rather than being wanted. And that is a very shaky foundation. True strength is knowing when to help and when to let others walk their own path. You should also consider your relationship with your own legacy and your children. If you have adult children or grandchildren, they are looking to you as the patriarch of the family. They need your wisdom, your time, and your stable presence. When you bring a new girlfriend into the mix, it often creates tension and drama within the family tree. You might find yourself caught between your partner's demands and your children's needs. Instead of being the steady leader of your family, you become a man distracted by a new romantic interest. By staying focused on your own growth and your family ties, you ensure that your influence remains strong and untainted by outside drama. Your role as a mentor to your own blood is far more important than any temporary romance. Finally, think about the concept of the finish line. We often live our lives as if we are trying to get somewhere, but in your 50s and 60s, you are already there. This is the period to enjoy the results of your labor. If you enter a relationship that feels like work, you are moving backward. Life should be about high-quality experiences, deep learning, and genuine rest. A Stoic man understands that his value is not determined by having a woman by his side, but by the quality of his character and the clarity of his soul. You have the rare chance to live a life of total honesty, where you don't have to perform or pretend for anyone. This honesty brings a level of happiness that is much deeper than the excitement of a new date. It is a quiet, solid joy that comes from knowing you are enough exactly as you are. When you truly accept this, the pressure to find a girlfriend disappears, and you finally become the master of your own time and your own heart.